next. But the crisis over the coronavirus is changing the landscape, for now at least. Everyday citizens are preserving and reposting information the government doesn't want out there.
My purpose is to make sure that all of this information is not lost or deleted.
因为我们是不知道官方什么时候会把什么帖子删掉的，所以我们都是在跟官方比速度。
我们要保存我们的个体的记忆也好，或者是一种集体的记忆也好。
Voices like these from Chinese citizens are very rare. People who are willing to speak out about the government's attempts to control news about the deadly coronavirus. They ask to remain anonymous because what they're doing could put them and their families at great risk. But these people are part of a new wave of Chinese citizens fighting to get the message out in a country that aggressively censors information.
我们有权利说话，然后我们也有权利记下来。
Accounts or messages like these calling for free speech are quickly scrubbed from the internet.
I started to collect hundreds and hundreds of screenshots. And then as the outbreak got really bad, I thought it would be important to keep these or to collect and systematically archive this information.
Experts say this kind of digital resistance is happening at a scale they've never seen before.
At the beginning, I was just doing this on my own, and now it's about 100 of us, and we're translating news articles and social media posts that are constantly being deleted right now.
Social media networks like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter are blocked in China. But internet-savvy people use techniques that allow them to repost censored content to these platforms while staying under the radar of authorities. They're creating a visual archive by preserving videos like this one, showing overwhelmed hospitals. And they're reposting people's personal stories.
没有人关心我们平民老百姓的性命，有钱也买不到药，有钱也买不到病房。
Some are also turning to less obvious platforms, including GitHub, which is a site mostly used by coders.
很多备份团队都把他们的备份放在了 GitHub 上面。然后还有一些团队的话是在电报上面把一些微博跟微信上被审查了的截图发在电报的频道上面。
Another taboo Chinese citizens are pushing back on? They're making open and widespread calls for freedom of speech. These were triggered by the death of Dr. Li Wenliang. He was an early whistleblower who warned about the virus and was punished by officials for speaking out. He died in early February from the coronavirus. Right after his death, the hashtag I want freedom of speech started to trend on Weibo, a Chinese social media site. Then it was quickly censored by the government.
就在李文亮医生去世那天晚上，整个微博上就好像所有人都突然意识到说言论自由很重要，然后我们要说话。
The censorship that followed just further kind of galvanized us and made us feel that really the government was prioritizes censorship and suppressing free speech rather than acknowledging that they've made a mistake in arresting him.
Dr. Li's become an icon in the online fight for freedom of speech between censors and citizens. So who's winning? For now, citizens are staying a step ahead of the authorities. But a renewed government crackdown could test the strength of this digital resistance.
雄狮家族的各位亲友们，各位长辈们，我是金慧，我目前还在武汉防控这个疫区。我向大家汇报一下，目前我们整个湖北甚至全国的疫情情况。现在已经有9万多人死。这个病毒的传染几率是多少呢？就是一个人传染之后，如果说他没有被有效的隔离的话，或者说进行有效的治疗的话，他会传染到他身边的14个人，那么这个基数就很大了。现在正值春节假期之际，天南地北的亲戚朋友、子女都往家里赶，都是为了阖家团圆，在一起吃一顿团年饭。现在情况特殊， 我希望大家不要出门，不要聚会，不要聚餐，春节年年有，只要人平安，大家都可以随时随地的在一起。我现在向大家介绍一下我们整个湖北省医疗物资情况。现在武汉市整个医疗系统及湖北省的整个医疗系统都已经越过了我们的上级、卫计委及各个行政部门、市政府、省政府，透过各大媒体在向社会发起物资募捐。这个物资是医疗物资，比如说我现在戴的护目镜，戴的一次性的口罩，戴的一次性的手套，身上穿的这个隔离衣，甚至是隔离裤。这个物资特别精确。我们现在的医护人员凡是从临床下来的，现在全部都又重新上了一线。我现在相当于就是在火线上给大家录这个录像，就是为了让大家引起警觉。我再强调一次，春节放假期间不要出门，就自己在自己屋里待着，要不然我在前方拼命是为了什么？我就是为了让我的爱、我的亲人他们健康，希望大家能够理解。我也知道有些亲戚不在群里面，请看到我这消息的人相互打电话，相互通知，一定要做到。我希望大家能够提高认识，这是一个政治任务。而且报告大家一个很不好的一个消息，这个新型冠状病毒已经发生第二代变异了，也就是说在第一代变异的时候我们可以对症治疗，那么在发生第二代变异的时候，这是要命的。那它的感染几率就不是一个人传染，一个人得上的这种病传染身边14个人，那么它是呈爆发性质的。希望大家一定要牢记，不要出门，不要串门，不要集会，不要聚餐。谢谢大家。
But the whole world needs to be on alert now. The whole world needs to take action and be ready for any cases that come.
May mga nagsasabing galing sa mga paniki ang coronavirus. Pero ang totoo ay wala pang patunay na galing talaga ito sa mga paniki o sa iba pang klase ng mga hayop. Maging ang Chinese government nga ay inamin ding hindi ito sigurado kung saan talaga ito galing. Pero ang tanong, talaga bang hindi nila alam o may censorship na nangyayari kaya hindi natin malaman kung saan ito nanggaling? Isa rin sa mga posibilidad na lumabas ay maaaring galing ang virus sa level 4 biolab sa Wuhan, China. Sa Wuhan lang kasi ang may laboratorio na pwede kang mag-experiment ng mga virus. Kaya naman maaaring man-made ang virus mula sa laboratorio sa Wuhan at hindi nila napansin na nakalabas ang virus mula sa kanilang laboratorio. Ayon sa Israel at ayon na rin sa article ng Washington Times, sinabi ni Danny Shoham, isang dating Israeli military intelligence officer na pinag-aralan ng Chinese biological warfare, na ang coronavirus ay maaaring sakop ng covert bioweapons program ng Beijing. At nang tanungin ng Chinese Embassy kung ito nga ba ay sakop ng biological weapon program ng China, ay minabuti na lang nilang manahimik. Sinabi rin ni Mr. Shoham na ang laboratorio lang sa Wuhan ang may kakayahan na pag-aralan ang mga delikadong pathogen at isa rin daw ang laboratoryong ito sa 4 na nakikibahagi sa biological weapons development. Sabi pa niya, "This means the SARS virus is held and propagated there, but it is not a new coronavirus unless the wild type has been modified, which is not known and cannot be speculated at the moment." Information indicates that the People's Republic of China engaged during the reporting period in biological activities with potential dual-use application, which raises concerns regarding its compliance with the BWC. Sinabi rin nitong malakas ang propaganda ngayon ng China para isisi sa Amerika ang virus. Sinabi ng isang US official na may propagandang kumakalat ngayon na galing sa China na sinasabing galing sa Amerika ang virus para sirain sila. Pero bakit naman kaya nila isisisi ang virus sa Amerika? Maaaring isa itong paraan ng China para hindi sa kanila maibalin ang kasalanan. Ito rin ay maaaring isang mind conditioning para hindi magalit ang mga Chinese sa kanilang gobyerno. Pagkatapos lang ng ilang araw, matapos pumutok ang balitang ito, ay agad na nag-react ang China at pinabulaanan ang mga sinabi ni Mr. Shoham at binatikos din nila ang article na pinalabas ng Washington Times. Kayang lumipad ng virus hanggang 6 feet mula sa taong may sakit papunta sa bago nitong biktima. Kaya naman, dapat talagang siguraduhin niyong malayo ang distansya niyo mula sa mga taong naapektuhan ng virus para manatili kayong ligtas. Hindi rin basta-basta nagpapakita ang sintomas ng virus, dahil aabot hanggang 14 days bago magpakita ang sintomas nito, at sa panahon na yun ay siguradong sobrang naikalat na ang virus kung late na itong na-detect. May mga namatay din sa coronavirus na hindi nagpakita ng kahit anong sintomas. Kaya napaka-unpredictable ng sakit na ito. Marami pang impormasyon ang hindi natin alam dahil sa censorship ng China, at hindi rin sila transparent sa mga detalyeng binibigay sa international media. Umaasa lang kasi ang international media sa mga impormasyon na galing direkta mismo sa gobyerno ng China, kaya hindi nila kayang i-verify kung mas maraming tao pa ba ang naapektuhan ng coronavirus.
So the big question here is, have Chinese officials been covering up the spread of the coronavirus? Yes, the answer is yes. On January 16th, a little over 2 weeks after the first reported case in Wuhan, there were still only 41 confirmed cases of the virus in China. And they were only in Wuhan, nowhere else in China. That was according to Chinese authorities. But there were already 3 confirmed cases in Thailand and Japan. And again, that's part of the reason these scientists estimated the number of cases was much higher than reported. Meanwhile, as Chinese state-run media were pushing the official numbers, rumors about the virus started on Chinese social media and went viral. This WeChat text thread claims that all the information about the infection is being locked down. This one claims that hospitals won't even give you the test that would identify the virus. And this one says, "I asked a doctor, it's true. 4 people were deceased just in his ward. Numerous medical staff were infected." Now again, these are just rumors. But people spread rumors like this when they don't trust the authorities or the media. And then rumors like this can cause panic.
Tama nga naman ang sinabi ni Chris Chappell. Kung noong January 16 ay 41 lamang ang may sakit na coronavirus at kung lahat ng yun ay nasa Wuhan lamang, ay bakit mayroon ng confirmed cases ng coronavirus sa Japan at Taiwan sa araw din na yun? So ibig sabihin ay may censorship talagang nangyayari.
Party officials are having right now, there's one thing they can all agree on. Authorities are cracking down hard on people trying to break through the veil of government secrecy, or as they call it, spreading rumors. According to state-run Xinhua, all those who spread fake news and thus disturb social order will face up to 3 years in prison, detention, or disciplinary action. Those who have caused serious consequences will be given 3-year to 7-year prison terms. It makes sense. If they lock everyone in prison, then the outbreak can't keep spreading, right? Well, despite the threat of prison, a lot of people are still going online to blame the government, both high and low-ranking officials. Some residents of Wuhan are posting videos calling for international help, and people are posting dozens of videos of massively crowded hospitals.
Ang mga mamamayan din ng Wuhan ang pinakakawawa sa sitwasyon na ito dahil tinuturing silang parang kriminal ng Chinese government. Lahat ng mga sinusubukang umalis ay violenteng pinipigilan ng mga otoridad at sapilitan silang hinuhuli o kinakaladkad para hindi sila makatakas. Isa-isa rin nilang hinuhuli ang mga taong nagpo-post sa social media para sabihin ang tunay nilang sitwasyon at kung gaano na kalala ang virus. Hindi ito pinalampas ng China at nagsagawa ng mabilisang crackdown sa mga taong nagpo-post ng katotohanan sa social media.
Chinese authorities in other parts of China were pinning the blame for the coronavirus on the people of Wuhan by treating anyone who is from or has been to Wuhan like fugitives. Here's a Wuhan resident who thought he'd escape being forced into a van by police. Rather than take blame for the cover-up of the virus, the Communist Party is trying to paint the unquarantined people of Wuhan as being responsible for the spread of the virus. So I think we should all be sending a message of support to the people of Wuhan.
The Philippines has reported the first death from the new coronavirus outside of China. Officials in Manila say the 44-year-old man came from the province of Wuhan.
Philippines health authorities said the coronavirus patient had shown signs of recovery but deteriorated quickly. Despite the fatality, officials are urging calm.
Ngayong apektado na pati Pilipinas ay kailangan nating mag-ingat.
All measures needed to contain the spread of the virus is being strictly implemented